What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of RGTP. I am your host, Lewis, and with me, as always, is my man, Mamba. Mamba, how we doing today,
I'm doing
man?
great, bro. Storm is gone. It's all
Yes.
sunshiny out there now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ian came through, Mamba down there in
Yes.
Florida, caused a little bit of, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting
It
things.
happens every year. Everybody
Yeah.
gets on social media and sees the memes of us not giving a damn because
You know.
we really don't.
Some people, already lost their house, and Mamba,
Yeah.
only got wet. That was it. So it's a
Yeah.
little, different parts of Florida got affected differently. Prayers out to everyone. But we are back. We are
Into
back.
it. Get well some
Uh,
to it. Oh my goodness.
we finna talk about that on
Oh my
come Wednesday.
goodness.
When we're back on our football shit, we'll be having power rankings. Officially, we'll be coming back after this week 4 after this Monday night game. So our GTP power rankings will be coming back on Wednesday. So that's gonna be
Dolphins
fun.
may be top 10. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we gotta see. Yeah, we gotta definitely see what the hell happens the rest of the way here for
Yep.
Miami. But yeah, cannot wait for that. Glad to be back, and
Yes.
it's Friday, 6:00.
So
That
you know
means
what that means? Shout out Brody.
it's wrestling time. That's right. We is going to talk about all the shit that has been happening in wrestling, basically for the last 2 weeks, because we did miss last Friday. Just try to get as much out there as we possibly can, and what better place to start than the show that kicks us off, Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Seen a lot of interesting things over the last 2 weeks. We saw Randy
That'll be
Riddle,
back soon.
and maybe I'll tell you that in a
I
second.
hope so.
We have Riddle and Seth obviously going to be now in a fight pit.
Yep.
That should be interesting heading into Extreme Rules. We also have the Bianca Belair versus Bayley match. Has been a ladder match now for the Women's Championship. And then Finn Balor has officially been challenged by the returning Edge to an I Quit match. Mamba, how are you feeling so far? We have 3 more match stipulations from Monday. And just to touch on what happened last Friday, Karrion Kross got his ass whipped with a strap. And now we have a strap match. We officially have different match stipulations across the board. We have an Extreme Rules match also in the mix.
Yeah, thankfully there's no chair
and,
matches, right?
And there's another one. Or stairs.
Yeah, I'm glad that they are putting different types of matches, right? At Extreme Rules, it always felt like you get your hardcore match, you get a tag team match that incorporates a table or a ladder. And then you get a bunch of like normal matches at a show called Extreme Rules. So it's good that they're like strap match. Haven't seen one of those in a minute. Yep. Can't remember the last one that I've seen. I Quit match.
Yep.
It's gonna take
another
the
one this year.
Yeah. It's gonna take the storyline for Finn and Edge to the next level. Because spoiler alert, Edge should lose this.
Oh,
Edge should lose that match.
Tune in next Friday when we give out predictions. Mamba's early on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I also forgot Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes in a Donnybrook match is also happening at Extreme Rules. So lots of match stipulations.
It's a different name, but they're just gonna be wailing on people with chairs and stuff. So it's
it's a 6-man Extreme.
It's great
Rules.
though. Those 6, they're
we'll
gonna
have
kill
beer.
each other.
We'll have whatever
Yeah.
We saw the Donnybrook match already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be kind of cool. I'm excited to see what they got for us.
And Gunther is now all caps. Saw that. It's like Walter. It's all caps now, so it's pretty good.
Yep. There will be an IC Championship match next Friday, just leading before Extreme Rules. So that will be super exciting. Part 2 of Gunther versus Sheamus. But yeah, I'm super pumped up. All these match stipulations, something different. A ladder match, for the women's, I believe. I seen a tweet that said it was the first ever, one-on-one women's ladder match that wasn't Money in the Bank.
Nice.
This is, groundbreaking stuff. Obviously,
Bianca and Bayley, pretty 2 good ones to put in it.
You know what I mean? It's not bad at all. I'm interested in what the strap match is going to be like.
How did you feel about that? I know we were on Raw for a little bit, but Karrion he did not look strong on Friday.
Yeah, not at all.
And like the fireball botch, and then Scarlett having to help him, and then help him again, and then like help him one more time. It kind of made Karrion look a little weak, but hopefully the match saves it for him.
Right. Now, I mean, maybe it's going to be interesting how they utilize it. We had a glimpse of the strap when Cody busted it out inside Hell in a Cell with Seth. Obviously, what didn't last very long. It was more so for theatrical purposes. This time, these guys will legitimately be strapped to each other, so it's definitely going to be fun to watch. It just feels like Cross is getting a dub here. I don't know. And
it feels like it should be him.
He's only wrestled one match, and he choked out poor Drew Gulak.
There's a lot going on in WWE right now, and there's a lot of speculation outside of WWE. In this match, Drew McIntyre and Karrion could be a match that is affected by the White Rabbit, whoever it may be.
We are supposed to be getting a big tease at Extreme Rules.
You don't want to see Drew lose because he's been on a bit of a losing streak. And you don't really want to see Karrion lose because he just came back, and if he's already losing off rip, it might take it out for some people. And I know it's a strap match, so it probably shouldn't be any DQs, but they can always have a walkie finish. If they want it to be weird,
they're going to make it inside Hell in a Cell. I don't want to hear shit.
Exactly. So
random ass decisions that they make.
I hope that match is good.
Enough about Extreme Rules. We'll do that big preview next week, so that will be awesome. Let's get into some of the storylines around WWE. We have Panda Express getting together. Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano are a little tag team action around here. I am absolutely liking it. We got our good old buddy Ambition. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. Absolutely agree. Karrion needs to win that. He most likely will. Drew take a break. That's an interesting one.
I know
where they go from there.
He was sick, sore throat or something, so they pulled him off the road for a little bit. Maybe you do give him a little bit of time off because he has been a backbone for WWE since the pandemic started. So
he's been leading SmackDown regularly.
Yes,
regularly. But yeah, we got a lot of things. How we feeling about Owens and Gargano? KO just had a random face turn. Because if
was it random though?
Yes, because he literally put poor Ezekiel on the shelf with his family. And then the next week, he's like, yeah, I'm a prize fighter. Now I'm just going to beat people up because I want to. And now everyone's like, yay, Kevin Owens, we love you again. So it's a random, and it just happened so fast. But it's not bad.
But nah, it's simply because Kevin Owens is greatness. And it's hard. It's not hard to hate him because if he wants you to hate him, he's going to make you hate him, right? But they have enough top heels right now, right? Cody being a face off for a while. Sammy is a kind of a face to him, but it's like he's a heel.
Over.
Like they needed more people to be cheered for. And Kevin Owens, everyone loves Kevin Owens. Even if you hate Kevin Owens, you love Kevin Owens because he's that good. Johnny Gargano wrestling on Raw and actually being a mainstay for Raw, and I don't feel as though he's going to be butchered. As if, if someone else was in charge, so it's good. I just hope that you give it time, right? Because that's going to be everyone's thing is, you're just putting them in the main event. You're pushing them to the top because they were your guys in NXT. Allow people to see who Johnny Wrestling is, and then you can just catapult him wherever you want.
Right. No, agreed. Ambition says on any given night, Seth and KO can be either or. They're just that good at, working the mic and working the crowd, and I absolutely agree. And speaking of Johnny Gargano, how are we feeling about a debuting Candice LeRae as she is back with the faces, of course? Giving Damage Control a piece of their mind.
One more person, man.
War Games is shaping up rather interesting over there. It's definitely going to be cool. That's cool as fuck to see what happens. But how are we feeling? Candice LeRae is back.
You saying she's joining Bianca's team, huh?
If they go that route at War Games, I would not hate it. Absolutely not. Especially if any of the rumors are said to be true and it was supposed to be Raquel and Aaliyah. absolutely drop Aaliyah and give me Raquel and Candice LeRae on that team, and I
poor
more
Aaliyah.
than worth it. But we do know War Games has been particularly 4, not 5s. This isn't traditional Survivor Series, so maybe they will have sort of a that be the women's. But yeah, Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano both debuting
So
in
good.
WWE in Canada.
And they were both surprises. Like,
Yep.
I no clue. As soon as her music hit and the poison, I was like, why does this look familiar? I was like, why is this familiar? And then she came out. I was like, oh, holy shit. I literally texted you and my sister. Holy shit, dude. Like, it's great. The roster is being bolstered, and it's going to continue both women, female, male, men, you know. Tag teams getting there. The roster is just looking crazy. And the fact that they continue to add to it, it's great.
We will be having at some point to help bolster the women's division. Becky will be back and Charlotte will be back at some point, which would be great. And we're still waiting on the
staying on the women's. Sasha, Naomi, they
they
are coming back, but then Sasha changed her name on Twitter, so it got everyone talking. And they're doing the photo shoots, the premieres for stuff. Like, are they coming back? Are they?
Maybe.
Oh, who knows?
Maybe Toxic Attraction is also potentially set to be on the main roster at some point. So the women's division on the come up. And, as we keep talking about some of these changes, Shotzi has found herself as a bit of a face now all of a sudden, getting in Damage Control's business, helping out Raquel last week, and she will be wrestling Bayley later on tonight. How are we feeling about Shotzi coming back? And are we seeing that tank soon? Is Shotzi gonna get her tank back?
I would love the tank to come back. That made her character in NXT, right? Like, she is great, but the tank alone, everyone's like, yes, the tank. Like, it sucks that she's been flip-flopped since she got to the main roster, right? So if she can just get some consistency, I'll be happy with it. And if it brings the tank, it brings the tank.
Agreed. I absolutely would love to see that. Another person that's been flip-flop got a little bit of TV time for really the wrong reasons. Lacey Evans obviously gets squashed by Liv. Liv jumps up off the table. How are we feeling about Liv, trying to show her extreme side?
Yeah, you gotta build her up because Ronda is Ronda.
Right.
They're gonna make Ronda as strong as possible, and I hope she loses. I hope Liv just beats the shit out of her. I know it's going to be close, but, like, I really don't want to see that title back on Ronda. And Ronda's came out and said, like, she knows, like, Roddy, he never held the world title. He was always an IC champion, and he mainly did most of his stuff without a title. So she's come out and said, like, I understand there is more to it than being a champion, and I respect that. I just need her to hold to that because after I saw that, guess what? She's immediately the number 1 contender.
Yep. And she's Ronda Rousey.
My hope is that they're doing this match so Liv can actually get the win over her and not tapping at 2 1/4,
The win.
Right. So hopefully this is for Liv to get a proper win.
Absolutely.
And what better way than kendo sticks, chairs, whatever it takes,
Agreed. Ooh, Ambition says Ronda retains.
Go away.
With Shayna.
Go away.
Ooh,
Go away.
That's going to be interesting. I'll tell you
what
this.
What does Shayna cost Ronda the match?
Tell you what. They're turning heel.
Who?
Ronda and Shayna, and they'll be a tag team.
Natty and they're just going to butcher everyone.
Natty has been teaming a little bit on the side with DeVille over the recent weeks on Friday nights and stuff. She was the number 1 contender. Shayna wasn't with her when they did that whole Ronda feud and stuff. So I think if that's the route that they decide to go and bolster up the tag division, put the 2, MMA fighters that are legitimate friends,
That's a good idea.
And you can see how it goes. And it also sort of helps mask Ronda's not great ability at talking and not so great in the ring. But I think it could be somewhere to help her in a sense.
It also
and continue building that tag division because we still don't have any women tag.
It also gives the storyline for whenever the team implodes for them to start their feud.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. One more note on the women's division. Nikki ASH having a mental breakdown. Are we
Yeah.
gonna see Nikki Cross?
Crazy Cross? I would
Is
love
she
it.
coming
I would
back?
love it. Does that mean Dewdrop would be changing, or
I don't
because
know.
if it's one, it'd be great if it was both. But Nikki Cross coming back, yeah, you're gonna remember why she used to be a champion
Yeah,
very
pretty much.
quickly. Yeah, people are gonna
Absolutely.
fall in love with her. So
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be interesting. Shout out to the women in WWE. You guys get
killing
talked
it,
about around here. Don't worry. Don't worry.
killing it.
Don't worry.
Oh,
What? Whoa, ambitious said there are rumors that White Rabbit is her old faction.
Eric Young coming back.
He
Oh
said,
man,
even though we know it's Bray. Oh, we shall see. We'll definitely be talking about that next Friday. But let's continue as more storylines continue to develop outside of some of the main feuds. We have some underlying things. Finn Balor, as he's dealing with Edge and he's dealing with Ray, he also happens to be picking a fight
yeah,
with AJ Styles on the
that's
side.
smart.
Judgment Day attacks AJ to end Raw. Gives a little tease to break in, the throat, neck, whatever area. Edge obviously makes a save, but
Did he though? I think it was more Finn Balor. Like I'm still your friend, guy. So
what
keep
is
messing
going?
around.
What are we getting out of here outside of obviously a spectacular match whenever the hell this goes down? Because AJ versus
Oh
Finn is going to
yeah,
tear
we've
the
seen it
house down
once in WWE.
whenever this happens. So, how are we feeling overall on the storyline heading in? AJ kind of just kind of wants his friend back. He doesn't recognize him.
Right. I mean that tends to happen, right? When you find yourself in a group that is supposed to be a powerful, it feels as though they should be a powerhouse to be reckoned with on Raw. Started off a little bit slow, but it's nice to see them. Yeah, they joke from time to time, but even
Yeah,
though they're joking, they could snap your neck if they wanted to. Like the way they showed it, like, yeah, we're cool right now, but get on our bad side and we will hurt you.
exactly.
And if you don't join us, just look what we did with Ray. And we got Dominic to join us.
Yep.
Judgment Day feels more credible. Like I said, getting that win over Edge should go to Finn. I know you want to talk about the predict, but it just Edge has already said he's probably close to retirement.
Oh yeah.
If he loses to Judgment Day, who he said I still have stuff I could have taught you. Y'all just kicked me out without even thinking about it. They beat the shit out of Edge. Don't look like he has much to teach him, right? Like, and then that just leads Edge to be like, "Oh shit, I'm losing it. I'm not
Yep.
as good as I used to be," and it feeds into that story. But Judgment Day, they feel credible, and it's great.
I hear that. Ambitious says Rhea needs to get back in action. Agree. That'll also help bolster up the women's division quite a
Yep.
bit more. She's sort of been Dominic Mysterio's poppy, so I don't really know. I
Is
don't.
it because of concussion? Is it because of what happened with her last injury? Or
If the concussion that she suffered pre Money in the Bank is still hindering her right now,
yeah,
I am a little bit I'm a little bit
I would
concerned on what
say.
damage it did actually to her brain.
Now, I wouldn't say maybe it's still lingering, but WWE has shown caution,
Yeah.
because of everything that's happened in the past. They do want to make sure that their wrestlers are good. And that's the problem with Alexa, right? She deals with concussions.
Yep.
And if, like, for War Games, it was Bianca's team, you would think Asuka and Alexa would be there. But with the way Alexa has experienced those injuries, you probably don't want to put her in that environment, right? Just in case something bad could happen. And maybe the same with Rhea Ripley. You maybe don't want to put her in there just in case,
Hey, I absolutely. Are we gonna get Io flying off the top in a trash can again?
Asuka's going to be in it. Asuka's probably taking the brunt of that one.
Just jumping off. God, it's gonna be crazy. Because as you said it, I was like, what if she just does like a twisted bliss off the top?
Exactly.
Maybe not though. Maybe
right.
not. Maybe we'll keep Alexa safe.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
we'll
mean,
just keep her
you've
safe.
seen Doudrop whenever she took her and like rammed her back into the pole, like put her hand behind her head just to make sure. So they're doing that for Alexa. Do not put her in War Games.
She's probably gonna be in War Games.
And it's good that they're safe, but like
she's
probably don't need that. But hey, if she does, good luck. I hope the match is great and fingers crossed.
For sure. For sure. Hopefully. Yeah, no, we got some interesting shit going on. Obviously tonight we'll have SmackDown, and we'll see what sort of transpires from there as we take a trip down to Florida. NXT continues to spice things up. Obviously, early announcement: Steiner Math, Braun Breaker will be defending against JD McDonough, and a newly debuting Ilja Dragunov is coming back, and he is in NXT.
I was so happy when he showed up. I felt like Ilya was the one person where it was like, when is he going to pull up? And he had the injury, which made him relinquish the title. We could have had Braun Breaker versus Ilya at Worlds Collide.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe this is where Ilya takes that title off of him by pinning JD,
Yeah, that seems to be the route that they're going to go. I don't think I think JD's in here to eat the pin, sadly.
Pin, submission, whatever it is.
Unless we get an absolute swerve ball, we get, the running headbutt on Breaker, and JD runs in, throws Ilya out, and pins Breaker. Just, the shock and awe factor of Halloween Havoc would absolutely be insane. My only issue, why'd they have to do my boy Bates like that? Why?
It's because he already lost.
I know, but
it's because he already lost. He lost twice.
He couldn't even come up. Like, he couldn't show up, right? Like, nothing. Like, poor big strong boy.
It's like, if you think about it, though, they could have put him in the fatal, but there's literally no chance that he was going to win.
No.
Lost to JD on NXT. Lost to Braun Breaker at Worlds Collide. If they want Tyler Bate to get that NXT title, he could be the next, like, down the line, but it wouldn't have made sense putting him in there. He's lost both opportunities to get that title.
He lost the belt and the number one contender.
Exactly.
I hear it. Let's continue to talk about Ilja Dragunov, as he did wrestle quite. In fact, he met backstage with
Zion Quinn.
Yes, but I'm trying to think what is the X Factor. That's what he calls himself. Yep. Zion Quinn, the X Factor. Yes, sir. Not bad. I mean, I don't hate Zion Quinn.
I don't hate him either. He's just there.
Yeah, I guess whenever and if they ever decide to give him a bit of a push, he probably will have the heel thing definitely going for him. Or if they decide to do like the cool guy ladies man angle eventually on the main roster. Bruh. We'll see what the hell is gonna happen with Sangha, because Sangha was damn talking to Quincy, which actually is funny because Quinn showed up for that angle too. So some funny stuff kind of all ties together. But yeah, Zion Quinn loses to Ilja Dragunov. Obviously, we all saw that coming. But no hate to Quinn. But thank you for doing the job. Thank you.
Ever since Zion Quinn has showed up, and did he feud with Boa at one point? Do you remember Boa?
Yeah, Boa. The worst part about that Boa, the main shit that sticks in my head is his feud with Solo Sikoa when he threw the fireball on his face or whatever,
and then Sikoa had the
plastic. It was like falling off at the end of the match, and then he just ripped it off. Like, it was some ugly looking stuff.
And then wasn't Zion Quinn like trying to save someone from Joe Gacy?
Yes, he was saving.
This man has been everywhere.
Anthony Draco, wherever he went. He's been off of TV now all of a sudden too. But
that was the tag team, right? He was a part of. I can't remember the other guy's name.
I have no clue. He's been off of TV for so long now. Like, he disappeared. Like, he was there just for Harlan to beat the shit out of him, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Poor guy has never been on TV since. But Zion Quinn has definitely sort of been lost in the shuffle, but not as lost as Duke Hudson. I don't know what the fuck Duke Hudson's doing anymore.
That's because no one cares what he's doing.
Duke Hudson was wrestling Braun Breaker and Gunther to start the year, leading to Stand and Deliver. Yeah. Now he's just been gone.
I mean, Duke Hudson, he was on Raw at one point, teaming with Shane Thorne, I believe his name was. And, like, he had a manager. MVP, I think, was their manager.
Wow.
Yeah, so, like, he's been around for a couple years, and he's never really been able to have anything stick. And when we think the storyline's going to stick for him, they kick out and release 2 of the people in the storyline. So,
well, one got brought back.
yeah,
Dexter
one
Loomis
did,
is
but
back.
and there's no point in going back to that storyline. It's done. It's finished.
Where the fuck is Indy? Where is Indy?
That's what I'm saying, bro. When is she getting to Raw, bro?
Jeez, that's crazy. Speaking of the women of NXT, we had a WTF moment as Carter takes on Nikita Lyons in just a regular one-on-one. And following the result of this match, I got an immediate text from Mamba saying, "Why the fuck did the champion lose clean?"
Because
and I
why?
told you.
Because why?
Because her name is fucking Nikita Lyons, and she's bound to be pushed because she's fucking thick with 45 C's.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you guys.
Yeah, nah.
Social media absolutely loves her, whether she can wrestle, whether she can talk. It does not matter.
That's why they put her with Zoe Stark.
She is beyond aesthetically pleasing to the masses, essentially. Yeah. So she's just bound to get pushed just for that alone.
But why against the champion? If you're going to have the champions wrestle, shouldn't your champions be winning? Right? Like that is what you want from your champions. They're your champions for a reason. And their title defenses, they won because of Toxic Attraction getting involved.
Yeah.
You're lagging a little bit on me.
Yeah. They won one title.
You know, like, yeah.
They won one title. Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't look like they're competent, right? Like, you just go in there and you're champ, but you need help winning your championship matches. You're losing one-on-ones, and even if it's to push one of the why? What is the point in that? It makes no sense. I'm sorry. It just makes no sense to me. You could have had Nikita look strong in a loss, too. Yeah, you can look strong in a loss, and then, you're like, oh, respect, great. I lost because you're a champion in WWE. I get it. I know what I need to do now to get to your level, to try and maybe defeat y'all. But no, it's already beat you. Zoe Stark's been in a main event with Mandy Rose. So it just feels like when that tag match happens for those titles,
oh yeah,
someone's going to get involved to help Kaden and Casey.
Maybe
it's going to continue. Like,
it's
just they have not done a good job of making me care about those tag titles or the tag team that holds them.
Because
that's my 2 cents on it.
This the women's Dusty Classic tag team thing didn't go as planned. They cashed in for a singles fatal 4-way, and then it went to who the hell won it?
Wasn't it Raquel?
Raquel and Dakota, and then they lost it like literally the very next day. And the titles have just been flip flop, and now there's not many tag teams in NXT to make those women's titles relevant at the moment. Although they're doing a much better job for the singles women. Alba Fire obviously on the come up. Lash Legend is feuding Wendy Chu. So that'll be something.
How did you feel about that?
So that's good. I loved it. I told you, set that fucking building on fire.
I'm
set
with the
that building on fire.
The fact that the hashtag was involved, though, I was like, that's hilarious. Yeah, just let us know what you want us to tweet. All right, thanks. Hashtag and new.
Yeah, like the women's.
It almost caught Zoe Stark on fire, bro. No, it is. It definitely is. Your face is wild. Yeah,
Fallon Henley had her match.
Good match.
I don't know what's happening.
You're freezing. Like, you keep freezing on my screen. Your eyes, you're like.
I hope this is entertaining for everyone else as it is for me.
Yes, I love this.
As we continue on, we had Brutus versus Kemp in their sort of grudge match that ends in a DQ because Damien Kemp said "fuck this" and beat the shit out of Brutus with a chair. Where the fuck was Julius?
That was my first reaction too. That is your brother literally getting beaten by a chair, and you're just, oh, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna just chill in the back. Yeah, that's literally what he did. I'm just gonna chill in the back while I watch my brother get the shit beat out of him with a chair. It's it's building to the Julius versus Sean, but he's gonna do the same thing to him, and his Brutus gonna be like, yeah, I remember what happened last week. Yeah, you didn't come help me. Why would I come help you?
Is this the Roddy story? Roddy comes to
Roddy
save the
has.
Creeds.
Oh, yes.
Roddy
That's
saves the
great. Yeah.
Creeds.
Yes. I'm with it. Get him back in good graces. And then Roddy's like, JK, I was with him the entire time.
That sort of feels like it would be going to, but I could also see where if they give Kemp this dub over Roddy, if that's some way
Oh,
they
yeah.
decide to go, help him, you beat a former North American
Yes.
champion, former Cruiserweight
Incredible
champion,
win.
get him a big win, and then, probably put Strong on the main roster at this point.
Yes.
Because I don't know what the hell he's going to keep doing down there, especially because now he's off of TV. But yeah, that was my immediate reaction. I was like, where the fuck is Julius?
Right.
And why isn't he helping his brother right now? Some wild shit. As the North American title was vacated, obviously, as we've seen. Spicing things up, we're going to have a fatal 5-way ladder match.
Yes.
Wesley has qualified, but it's kind of, I don't know what the hell's going on with Tony D. I messaged you, kind of was like, is he really injured? That match sort of ended. They gave us a replay on sort of his knee blowing out. Like, is
I thought it was like his eye.
I don't.
The way he hit the turnbuckle.
Then I don't know what it is. Like, was this a legitimate injury,
I would
or
assume
is this kayfabe? Like, did they just want to put Wes in without having Tony eat a pin?
Yes, I do believe that would be the route to go because, like, Tony D, he literally kicked out Escobar. Like, he's been getting wins. He's been winning. He beat Ciampa. Like, if he was to just lose straight up to Wesley, it always goes back to, like, if you win or lose, you can come out with a loss and still be okay. It just, did they want to kill his push? Everything he's built up to this point for Wesley. I want Wesley to win the ladder match. I do. I really, really do. But Tony D'Angelo could not have taken that loss. And it was also weird with his lackey. I don't remember his name. He just jumps in the ring and then he smacks Wesley and then he gets, oh, what are you doing throwing me out? And it's like, bro, Tony D'Angelo should be disqualified right now. Like, you should be happy all that's happening is you being thrown out.
He should be swimming with the fishes soon.
Pretty much. Yo, maybe they do go that route. Maybe they want to change up Tony D'Angelo, so gotta cap him to throw him in the ocean as well,
I hear it. Now it's definitely gonna be some. Yeah, I'm hoping Tony D isn't injured.
Yes.
Love the Don NXT.
Me too.
He's towards the beginning when he sort of first started his come up with War Games and stuff. It was sort of lost in the shuffle, but now he's sort of coming up. So we'll definitely see how it is. The ladder matches already has Wesley, Hayes, and Oro Mensah, also a debuting superstar, formerly known as I believe his name was Oliver Carter in NXT UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was his name. He won the tag team titles with his tag partner. His tag partner did not come over though, unless he's gonna show up later down the line. They're just gonna be singles, but we'll see how it goes. As we have Andre Chase versus Von Wagner is another qualifying match to get our fourth participant in, and I love me some Chase U.
Yes,
I really do. But I need Von Wagner just to destroy in this ladder match.
The 180 that Chase U has done, fantastic. Like, in the beginning, I was like, this is so stupid. Like, this is so dumb, but they have everyone bought in, and it makes it feel special. And I hope Andre Chase beats the hell out of Von Wagner, because he doesn't do it for me. This was the guy that I had seen an article, and when Vince had went down to the Performance Center, he was like, that's the next Edge. That's the next guy we're going to push. And, like, ever since then, I've always had this, like, expectation of him that's like,
oh no,
yeah, it's not able to get there. So seeing that article kind of ruined it for me, and I ruined it for myself. But, like, him being with Robert Stone and whatever he was doing before that, and his feud with the guy with Kushida who wears the jacket, I cannot remember his name. I know you know who I'm talking. I know everyone knows who I'm talking about.
Because his first name is like mad long.
Yeah, I cannot remember who. Like
Jacket Time. I know
Yeah,
exactly
he
what
was
you're talking
beating the
about.
hell out of him, and then that just went
He's
away.
been
And
gone
then
off TV
he
too.
showed up on SmackDown, and then he come back.
Iki Manjiro.
Yes, like Vaughn just don't do it for me.
Yep.
And Andre Chase, he's over right now. Why not put him in there?
The one good thing that the Harlan and Joe Gacy pairing did was abduct poor Bodie from the crowd when he was out there, which absolutely helped push this. Love Thea Hill. Obviously, she's the super over the top, cheerful, and
over the top.
It makes sense though because she literally graduated high school like 3 months ago or whatever.
That's
it was.
crazy.
She was already signed to WWE. Did her whole graduation thing, the college ceremony, picking the hat, like she was, picking where she was gonna play football at. Like that was such an awesome
any
little
sport,
touch.
and there's more sports than just football. There's
We
sports
know
that women play.
We know that's mainly where the recruitment happens. Everybody does it for the football. Everybody does it for the football. But I thought it was a nice touch. It gives and then obviously when you're just out there just telling everybody, calling them fuck faces and telling everybody to fuck off, it's gonna make you even better. Just me personally.
Yeah, no, that word right there. If you saying it on TV, I'm with you.
I absolutely enjoy his bitch fit rage. Is absolutely hilarious. As we have I always fuck up their name. Is it Brooks Jensen or Brooks and Jensen?
I think it's Brooke and Jensen.
I can't.
I know them as the Country Boys. That's what we call them.
I hate that I can never get their name wrong. But they had their pub match against Gallus, which ended with Gallus losing and then arrested at the end. So I don't know what the hell's going on there, but
that was quite possibly the worst. I'm attacking security, so I'm getting arrested. All I'm saying, the worst.
They were beating up security all night leading up to that match, and no one did shit about it to the end of the show.
I think they hit like 2. And not get them out here. It's over. Get them out.
Outside of that, the match itself, we had belt whipping, we had glass being smashed, we had fighting on the outside, inside. Obviously started off hot. Both teams, slide up in there, and they got it cracking early. Gallus, sadly, I don't think they've won a fucking match since being in TV. I know they lost the elimination match for the belts, and they just lost this Tuesday. I cannot remember.
I feel like Wolfgang had a one-on-one, and I can't remember if he won or not.
I really can't remember if they've won it all. So it's a little depressing to see that.
Yes,
but pretty good match, and I would not be opposed for this feud to sort of continue and maybe have another one of these all-out brawls because we were both a fan of the bar scene.
Yes.
And sort of it gave us throwback to the APA style.
The bar fight, it's just needed. It's needed. You literally just had a pub match. It was literally called the pub match.
Yeah, legit.
Bring it to a bar next time. Bring it to a pub next time.
They just walk up and just have an all-out brawl.
Hey, we're gonna need everybody to get out of here right now. Here's $1,000. We'll pay you for your expenses later, and get out because we're about to beat the shit out of each other.
Just an all-out. Now that would be an interesting match. I would absolutely love to see that. Who doesn't like a big old bar brawl?
Exactly.
That's fucking awesome. Or just leave everybody in there and just have a giant, have a giant
cracked
brawl.
Over heads. Yes.
Big battle royal in the brawl. Get a bunch of
you can have Fallon
being
the bartender
and NXT level up guys, and let them all beat the brakes off each other in a giant bar brawl. I am all for that. And before we transition over to AEW, we have one more storyline going on in NXT. Best 2 out of 3, tied 1-1. Nathan Frazier versus Exium in a high-flying, exciting 2 contest. We both thought that their end-all be-all third winner-takes-all match would potentially be a qualifier match to be in the North American ladder match.
It made so much sense.
It made so much sense. And I'm not opposed to having both of them in there if that also would have been a route. But I'll say this. I feel like I've told you this already. And if I haven't, I'll say it now. This is going to end in a motherfucking draw.
Oh, yeah?
This is ending in some sort of a double count out. And these motherfuckers are going to be in a tag team together. I swear to God, that's what's going to happen.
You did kind of get the bar vibes. Cesaro and Sheamus. You know, it does seem if they were to make them a tag team, yeah. My thing with Axiom and Nathan Frazier has been in Chase U before. I wanted Axiom to, yeah, he could be a superhero in the ring, but you want them to have an actual character, like put a face to some, you know, like how the Hurricane was the news reporter. Why not have Axiom and Nathan Frazier be the tag team in Chase U? You know,
interesting.
That would be pretty good. I would be on board with that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Then one of these people is winning. I don't think it goes to a draw.
Hey, I hear.
It'd be interesting, but
I would not be surprised if it was Axiom picking up the dub here. But I'm a personal. Yeah. I lean Nathan.
Yeah, we know. We know.
But as we continue moving on, there is one more promotion out there that makes a lot of commotion. AEW.
A lot is an understatement.
We had some title changes over the last 2 weeks. We've had debuts, returns. Samoa Joe obviously came back. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
In AEW. But the main headline that's been, running the ways. Saraya, formerly known as Paige. Yes, folks, Saraya. They made sure to let us know a whole lot of times. It is not Saraya, although that is her legal name. I did watch a video where her mom did absolutely call her Saraya. But, yeah. Saraya is here. How are we feeling about that? Because the whole your name rhymes with shit line was received like dog shit.
I mean, I think people are kind of over the bashing of WWE. We know what happened between y'all. Like, we know everything that's happened. So you don't really need to come in here and bash them. It just looks like you're spiteful, you know? And it's everyone who does it. At first, it was like, okay, they're new. Of course, they're going to get their licks in, try to bash them as much as they can. Y'all are almost 4 years into being a promotion.
Still taking
Chill the fuck out. Chill out. Like, it's over. Y'all are done. Y'all are two different things. Leave it as is, right? You can get your cheap shots here and there. Like MJF saying it, like, oh, well, bidding war, that's not a cheap shot. Like, he is mentioning them, but it's not like, oh, they're shit.
He's mentioning them like going over there.
Yeah, he's mentioning them like I am the shit, so I'm going there because I'm going to be the shit there, And it's just too much. Just be yourself. You don't need to shit on them like you tried to. Just come in there, help the women's division because it needs help.
Ooh, yeah.
Paige came up and she helped WWE's division. It was really when Paige came up, it was like, all right, let's try to get something going here, like change it a little bit. I hope she does wrestle, but if her neck isn't, it's perfectly fine if she doesn't. She can be the overseer of the women's division as long as it's positives that is coming to the women's division.
Yeah, that's going to be the main thing. What is her impact going to be in AEW? There's reports that it's a 3-year contract. I want to say that she had signed.
Okay.
And there's, obviously other reports that, she signed this deal and there's some sort of wrestling she will be involved in, some sort of in-ring.
Could it be like Sting to a lesser degree?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if she will wrestle, just a couple, 10 times a year, just, every other, once a Dynamite or a Rampage, for a pay-per-view feud or something like that, where they sort of use her as not a marketing tool, but, to help bolster up whoever she's feuding, which is going to be interesting. Is she going to be coming in to actually help raise that division? Or is she going to kind of CM Punk it? So that's really like, oh, I've been out the game for so long, I need my licks back. Or is she going to be like, all right, let's get this division up. They did a Lumberjills. Yeah. I know they called it Lumberjack. They did the whole Lumberjills thing. They brought out a bunch of the women on the roster, although it wasn't many.
It was 9 people.
Yeah,
it was 9 people out there.
Yeah.
Where was Allie? Where was
Sheeta? Where was
Sheeta? Yeah.
Who else is
Marina Shafir, Nyla Rose.
Rose. Oh yeah. Wade and the Baddies didn't come out.
Right.
Like, it's definitely going to be interesting.
Come out, ladies.
Impact. Yeah.
And 5 people walked out. I was like, that is what? okay, we're just bringing out the 5 faces of the division, and then 3 heels come out, 4 heels come out because Penelope was with them, and then they're like, Serena. Well, why the hell didn't she walk out with y'all in the first place? Like, they built up, gave her own entrance. It was cool.
It's definitely the importance is definitely what impact is she gonna have. Because everyone got all hyped up for Madison Rayne coming through, and I don't really know what's happening over there. But
she's
wrestles
a coach.
on Dark and stuff, and then obviously she wrestled against Jade, and she wrestled Serena Deeb. Yeah, she wrestled Serena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I only remember the Jade match, to be honest.
Yeah, no, she did. Coach versus Professor. I remember that match. That was literally a couple weeks ago.
I think that was her debut, was it not?
I do not remember if it was her debut.
I don't remember either.
But yeah, now it's definitely gonna be interesting to see sort of what impact she's gonna have on the main women's roster, because they're still shooting to that trash ass like 9:10 to 9:20 slot, which they're literally in every single time. The women's get one segment, and it's the same thing every time for 5, maybe 10 minutes.
But if we're being honest, it's not just the women that be doing the same thing. If you look at Andrade, that man has done nothing but the same thing over and over. And it's like, he says, I'm done with you, Private Party. I'm done with you, Butcher and Blade. 7 months ago, and then 3 months after that, he's like, hey, you want to do a job for me? I still employ you. And it's like, weren't you done with them?
Mm-hmm.
And then a few months later, it's like, bro, why are you still doing the same thing? And I get why he wants to leave. He had the idea that grass was greener. And maybe it was at the time, right? Maybe
when he probably got that phone call, he was definitely sold that it was going to be beautifully green.
And then AEW just has done nothing with him. Literally not. When they brought in Roosh, and I was like, okay, here we go. La Faction, we're gonna get some. No, they still nothing with them. So it's not just the women. It's just, it is sad that it's the entire women's division, and then for the males, it's just a few people you would expect. Miro, where'd he go? I know him and Malachi's feud kind of dwindled because Malachi is away. It's just they have a good amount of problems they still have to figure out when trying to tell a story.
Yeah, absolutely. On note of Roosh, he is officially all elite. He is all AEW now. I know people are like, "What the fuck you mean?" He is now officially like AEW. I don't know what his
contracted.
I don't know what obligations he was fulfilling beforehand for Tony Khan, but I did see his tweet. He is official. He is AEW, which is great. Love me some Roosh. Got to see him wrestle live twice. Versus Dragon Lee and versus John Moxley, which is
even better. That's even better.
So honestly, it was pretty good. So good for Roosh. But as we continue going on, debuts, we had Rock Hard Juice Robinson showing up. Now reports are circulating that Tony Khan would like to bring him in as much as humanly possible into AEW as Bullet Club continues to run wild across AEW.
Plus his wife is there.
Of course. So. Well, his wife is literally the women's champion.
Interim champion. Get it right. She's fed up. She's tired of the interim already. She don't want to be interim anymore, That Juice, he's dope though. I don't remember his name in NXT, but he used to be a hippie.
CJ Parker. I think that's what it was.
So
CJ Parker.
He used to be a hippie, and the way this like he is now, it's like how far you've come. And William Regal even mentioned, like, I've known this dude since he's 21. Like, he left WWE, he went and did his own thing, and he established himself. And he's pretty cool. World champion? Not with Moxley being champion, I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, over in Japan,
he could maybe TNT one day, All Atlantic, because he likes to travel, Japan, so...
Yeah,
Juice Robinson, pretty good wrestler. Yeah, probably talk a little bit for you too if you need him.
Yeah, obviously in New Japan, he was the IWGP US champion.
3-time, right?
Yes, he picked up a couple wins picked up, I believe, 2 wins against John Moxley.
Yes.
Since John Moxley joined AEW 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
I believe so.
So obviously, Moxie most likely when he heard, or maybe this week Moxie suggested himself, like, hey, who would you like to wrestle? Hey, call up Juice. I think he'd be great. He's a free agent, or obviously there's a lot of Bullet Club connections.
Yep.
So it just makes it easier. Like you mentioned, his wife is also there. It just makes a ton of sense if he does decide to go that route. But just another player in the pan for AEW is just a matter of kind of how we spoke about Andrade. How much is the grass actually going to be greener,
Right.
or will it not flush out? And maybe he goes to Impact. Maybe he goes back to New Japan. Maybe Triple H just starts throwing money at all these dudes that are free agents.
Bring the hippie back. Yo, imagine.
I don't think we'll get the hippie
we won't.
back, but
Nah, we won't.
more debuts though. Bandito versus
Yes.
Chris Jericho for the ROH title main evented this show, and we'll talk a little bit more about Chris Jericho in a little bit because he has a lot of shit going on himself.
Yeah,
we'll talk
he
a little bit
always
more.
does.
But how are we feeling? Bandito is out here. If no one has seen Bandito wrestle,
I've watched him like once or twice.
go watch him wrestle. Go look him up on YouTube. You can watch the Super Card of Honor match against Jonathan Gresham when they did the ROH unification match. That was really good. His Triple Mania tag match with Andrade versus Phoenix and Hijo del Vaquero was absolutely outstanding. Must watch.
I like the way you just said that. That was nice.
Hey,
Just roll. That was great.
It was easy, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Son of the Viking obviously was when we talk about Pro Wrestling Insider's top 500, was like top 6, top 7, whatever it is. He is very good himself, and Bandito is no slouch himself. Obviously put on an immaculate performance, holding up Chris Jericho for like the 20-30 count was amazing. The crowd loved it. You just see his body trembling and shaking, but he wouldn't give up. I was just so much respect
holding
for that.
him up,
And then, after the fact, there was, the hug with Tony Khan that we saw on social media. And now, obviously, reports that Tony Khan is ready to just bring this guy in permanently, and he wants him to be AEW.
That man looks great, but he's going to get lost in the shuffle. And it's just so sad. I hope he won it. I will say, when I first looked at him, and take it however you want, I don't care. I want him to be with Andrade. It just feels like it would make them stronger, right? Like, I want Andrade to be stronger. Like, he's one of my favorites in AEW. And by making him stronger is you add people in NXT.
Cien almas. I know.
Like, he's been a top wrestler for me. And I just want to see him succeed. And getting Bandito in a faction with him, you're going to succeed.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
How about that trio?
But by himself, he will do great things because the crowd loves him for what he did against Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And his mask is dope. It's dope. It's so cool.
Bandito, the bandit, bro.
I get it. I'm just saying, it's so cool. Like,
and he has it on the whole time. He wears the hat and everything. He's fucking. I love Bandito.
Yes.
Telling you, if you guys haven't watched him wrestle yet, go check him out. Bandito is actually really good. Can wrestle, as you've seen, multiple styles. He can get into the half line. He can do some technical wrestling. Honestly, he is no slouch. Mexican wrestlers are literally some of the best.
Luchadors. It's no surprise that I like Andrade and them when like my favorite wrestlers are Rey and Eddie Guerrero. So like luchadors, bro, just give me more of them. They're great.
Yeah, I would not mind seeing him joining La Facción.
Yeah, like
that trio could be amazing with him, Rush, and Andrade. They could do some bangers. Imagine that match against Death Triangle.
Yes,
would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love Bandito to stick around. But Jericho, as we mentioned, has a lot of shit going on now. There's some turmoil in the group as young Daniel Garcia has officially challenged Chris Jericho to a tag team match as he will team up with his idol, his childhood hero, the love of his life, Bryan Danielson, to take on, interestingly enough, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara of all people, which I guess makes the most sense because, it doesn't really...
Yeah.
When Sammy got put back in with Jericho, it didn't really look like Daniel Garcia was in it. They obviously sort of had
Daniel's jealous of Sammy?
No, but I think he's more so of sick of his shit, and I think that's something that obviously we're going to get to see, and I cannot wait for him to pin Sammy personally. But if he fucking swerves us and beats up Danielson, I'm going to be sick.
Yeah, I always go to that. Like, it just feels like he's gonna turn on him because he's like, yes, but I don't think he would go back to Jericho either. But like, why would you turn on Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, just to have Blackpool Club pissed off at you,
Right?
And Jericho Society pissed off at you. Like, I mean, if you want to, why not? He
The
wants to fight
ultimate.
everyone. Screw it. Like, he doesn't want to be a part of anyone anymore. Jericho giving him the ultimatum, and
Right.
then Bryan coming out like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You can do anything you want."
Yeah.
Like, that's great. But it kind of feels like you're trying to get him to join you to do what you want, But
That's
maybe
exactly what it is.
that's what that's what they want us to feel, but maybe Bryan isn't a dick like that. Maybe he isn't that way. But maybe they are.
Yeah.
And they just want the title to come back to Blackpool.
Out here. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the hell's going on, but have to basically wait and see what Garcia's decision is. I would assume
Right.
he's going to join Blackpool.
Yes.
Personally, I just feel like that's the way it's going to go. It's going to be interesting to see the dynamic between him and Wheeler Yuta, considering they've basically been feuding
They'll be a
for
great
months.
tag team one day.
They've been feuding on the side for months. Obviously, they had their ROH title match for the Pure Championship at Death Before Dishonor. And even before that, Garcia was talking all his trash. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see the dynamic when Garcia fits in with Blackpool Combat Club. It hasn't had the match with Mox yet. But then again, I guess they already bled together. So, I mean.
Yes, they did.
He's been to
Another
war
route
a few times.
Is they get the win, Bryan and Garcia's like, I thank you for like wanting me to join y'all, but I don't want to do that at the moment. I want to do stuff by myself. Like, no hate, no like, like you're my idol and everything, but I got out of a group, so like it's not you, it's me. Like,
I hear that. It's gonna be
too.
interesting. It's going to be interesting. As we have more champions crowned from the Grand Slam event, we are going to have National Scissor Me Day, as the Acclaimed will have a Scissor Me Daddy Ass time.
WWE's prepared for them. Prepared for the chance. They are.
I fucking hope so. It's gonna be...
Dude, if they start a Scissor Me Daddy Ass at WWE on WWE TV, dude, that's gonna be fantastic. Yeah. Everyone loves the Acclaimed.
Everyone loves the Acclaimed. I absolutely agree. But we saw this coming, especially from God. What the hell was the last pay-per-view?
Full Gear.
Was it Full
Gear? All Out.
All Out. Yes. After All Out, we basically saw this coming. The Acclaimed were bound to be tag team champions at some point. Just happened 3 weeks after the fact, but they're super over. They're so beyond. Haven't been on obviously wrestling, so we'll see kind of what their celebration comes out to be, because every time someone has a celebration in wrestling, they're gonna get interrupted.
The Ass Boys. It's gonna be the Ass Boys. It is. It totally is. And then FTR is going to come out and they're going to be like, step aside, Ass Boys. And be like, oh, your dad is cool with us, not with you. He don't care if we beat your ass. And then number one contender. Yo, honestly, I know we're talking about the Acclaimed and everything. I don't know if FTR is ever going to get those tag titles.
Probably not.
I really don't think they are. And it would be nice, though, right, if FTR does get a match against the Acclaimed and the Acclaimed do beat them. Just to get the rub that we beat FTR, But it's going to be tough if those are the one tag titles that FTR does not get. Because wasn't the grass supposed to be greener for them, too?
They got them, but I think
but
the reign... the reign was 68 days, 69 days, something like that. They literally held the belts for like 2 months.
Yeah.
But they just like missed the opportunity to do FTR versus Young Bucks for all the belts. Officially all the belts.
That is not happening.
No, it's
not happening.
There's no shot, especially because God knows when the fuck the Young Bucks are coming back. God, I miss you guys. I miss me a Super Kick party. Should have worn my shirt today.
You should have.
Should have worn my shirt today. But yeah, the Acclaimed. It's going to be interesting to see who's their first feud will be. I would not be surprised if Tony Nese and Josh Woods come out. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I feel like feel like this
It
could be
doesn't.
some
That's
smart
usually
mark.
how tag title runs start for new tag champs, right? They get Private Party, they get Butcher and the Blade,
Yep.
and they're getting them both in the same match, so they're just trying to get them out of the way as fast as possible, right?
Yep.
And
Exactly.
then probably Tony Nese and Josh Woods, right?
Yep.
That's a solid win.
Just
and then
builds up for a few
it
months.
has to be the Ass Boys, their first proper feud.
But
It has
probably
to be.
the main thing that's gonna happen with the Acclaimed is how hot is it gonna be? Because we've seen it with Liv as a prime example. She was good on the chase, and then she became champion, and then it was like, man, Hangman is the prime example, the ultimate chase to beat Kenny Omega, and then he got it, and then Creative and the company sort of dropped the ball on him. So
yeah,
Tony knows what the fans want, but he's gonna
but he
have to make
don't know
sure
how
that
to
we
keep it with them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got to keep us with him, He got to keep us going along, because if a month into this reign, we're already asking where the fuck FTR is. Like,
So
what, you know what I mean?
hold on. Is AEW just the internet? The internet always wants mad title changes.
For the most part.
In AEW, there's just been mad title changes. And
For the
so
most
this
part.
is the problem, right? Everybody wants this person to be champion, this person to be champion, this person to now be champion. People don't want to give them the chance to show what they got.
I remember when
That's
everyone
kind of
wanted
what it
Eddie
feels
Kingston
like.
to be champion earlier this year.
I'm still on board with Eddie Kingston becoming world champion. I do not care. It probably will never happen.
That was the
I
thing.
am still on board with that.
That is one of the main complaints about Tony Khan. He likes listening to the internet, and he books himself he books it fanny,
Right.
more so like a fan than what is actually best for business. Does it hit? Not
Sometimes.
always, but sometimes it does. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you got to go with it, which is exactly prime example of he has to keep us along for this Acclaimed run, because this is what everyone wanted.
Everyone wants
now
this.
You got to make sure that this is what we want to keep having, because it is going to be people asking about FTR. There will be people asking about whoever's going to be come up. When the Young Bucks eventually return, people are going to be like, hey, when
Phoenix,
are these guys
Pentagon,
coming up? Death Triangle, like when
the
are
best
they?
Friends.
You know what I'm saying?
They have
people start asking questions on when are we're gonna get one of these guys with the belt. So will we see a 2-month run for the Acclaimed? I fucking hope not.
I hope not.
Can it happen? We've seen it happen before.
They could draw the titles next week.
They really could. You know what I mean? That shit could be crazy. We watched a TNT title get flip-flopped all around the start of this year. People tend to forget it went from Sammy to Cody to Sammy to Cody to Sammy to Scorpio to Sammy to Scorpio.
Was it last year?
That was this, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Mania was this year, dude. Yes. Cody was wrestling in the ladder match in the start of January, if I remember correctly. He was wrestling and if it wasn't, it was late December. But regardless, in the calendar year, the TNT title is getting flip-flopped left and right. And that's really one of the main issues that the Acclaimed might face. We gotta see how it goes.
They got it. Everyone loves the Acclaim.
Everyone loves the Acclaim. And to wrap up the show, the last storyline in AEW that we'll talk about, which is actually heating up. Some people don't like it. Some people are kind of shitting on this poor young man because he doesn't seem to stand much of a chance on the mic. MJF versus Wheeler Yuta is sort of brewing something in, I wasn't expecting MJF's first feud to be with Yuta. I will absolutely say that.
No.
This shit caught me off guard.
I agree.
Beyond belief. And why the fuck have Blackpool not helped him out yet? Because the firm keeps getting involved. We saw Morrissey come out. We saw the Ass Boys come out. And no one's helping young Yuta.
Blackpool's in shambles. They lost the title. They got the title back. They don't help each other.
How much of a faction?
Right. So it made sense when it first happened, right? Because Danielson was preparing for the match. Moxley was preparing for the match. Claudio lost the title to start the night, so he's recovering. It made sense. But a week later, y'all still ain't helping the dude. Maybe they're trying to get Garcia to come in to help him because they don't want to do it. They're like, hey, Y'all be friends. Y'all are cool now. All right, we're going to go do this while y'all get jumped by 7 people. We don't care what happens. Kind of messed up.
Yeah.
This match is going to be great, though.
Oh, yeah.
Match is going to be great. And Wheeler Yuta, yeah, he's not MJF on the mic, but I say I never wanted to turn down the TV. It never made me want to change. Yeah, it's been okay. And
you have to see if he can sink or swim. You have to see if he can sink or swim, pretty much. So I'm all for it. It doesn't bother me. You
got to give him more reps too, right? And he's going verbal with one of the best in your company. Yeah, it's going to look a little tough out there for him, but he did hang. Was there like, oh, your wife, your fiance, like did it get a little weird? Yeah, it did, because he was like, "Oh, she's going to realize you're a dick like we all do." And it was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, she's a sweet girl, though." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't give a fuck." All right, great. That's great. But Wheeler versus MJF. MJF obviously winning.
Of course.
Yuta's going to put on a show, though, and it's going to be like MJF's going to underestimate him, and then he's going to have to properly estimate him to be able to beat him.
Yeah. It's your 2 young faces. I believe they're both 25, if I remember correctly.
And you got Garcia. You got a pretty good trio going right there.
They got a bunch of young guys. Jungle Boy is still young. Yeah. Ricky Starks is still young. They have a lot of the AEW pillars. You know what I mean? The young guys. They have a bunch of them. And if this is, this company's going to be around to compete with WWE, Impact and TNA is a prime example. You have to figure out if these young guys that you're going to want to keep around will be the future for the company going forward. Right. So no better time than the present to figure it the fuck out. We will hear from Hook and what he has to say.
I'm going to be honest. He kind of makes me nervous. I feel like Hook is going to leave for WWE. I really do. I really do think he will leave for WWE one day. Whoa. And I know you can say that with a lot of people, but I feel like for Hook, I feel like it'd be a little weird, but I feel like Taz would definitely be in his head like, if you want to do this, go get the experience, right? If that is what you want to do, who am I to stop you? But I want to see Hook in WWE one day, just to see what they do with him.
They probably will fuck him up.
Who knows?
We'll see, because obviously Trips is in charge
still
now,
like, 21, 22? Like, he's still super young too, right?
Yeah, definitely under 25. 25 tops. But yeah, now they have a bunch of young studs. He will be talking later tonight to address something. I don't know what it is.
You're gonna say more than yep.
I was personally hoping he just gave the FTW championship to Action Bronson and was like, "Here you go, champ. Like, you take it, have this, you know what? And we can just take it back to New York." But fuck it. We'll definitely have to see where that goes. But yeah, the young pillars in AEW are not bad at all. Obviously, MJF and Wheeler Yuta being sort of the main 2, especially over the course of this last year. MJF obviously has been one of the biggest draws in AEW. He's had some of the best matches, some of the best promos, and he's been the talk. Obviously, we know the bidding war for 2024. Obviously, he's made it known. And then Yuta,
so much money.
Yuta went from, being the backstage guy with Orange Cassidy and the best friend.
You did not like Yuta.
I did not. I was like, who the fuck? I'm telling you, I literally was just like, I don't know who this kid is.
I remember in one of your texts like,
he's not
he
that
great. So many times. You're like, get this man off my screen pretty much. Yeah.
And then I fucking fast forward a few months later. I am screaming my head off when he's winning at Death Before Dishonor. Against Daniel Garcia, another one of the young pillars, and I got to watch that match live. So I've come around to Wheeler Yuta, but it's a prime sink or swim. You got to figure out if these guys are gonna be able to cut it, because they have the Moxleys, the Danielsons, the Omegas, the Hangmans, the Punks, the Bucks. Like, there's all these guys that have been in the business for years and years and years and years and years, and you got to see if young talents will be able to move into that main event picture at some point. We know MJF is there, but Wheeler has slowly been climbing the mountain little by little. So what better way to do it than against your direct competition in the company, the future? Who's the future? So I'm all for it. It
might have been different times, when the company started, but at one point WWE was like, what are we doing, pretty much? Like, who is going to be the ones that take us into, and that's when you get the Hogans and the Rocks and the Roman Reigns now, man. You know, and like
SmackDown 6 and SmackDown.
With WWE for the years previous, it's always been y'all are just using all your old wrestlers. With AEW, they are trying to get the younger guys on there and gals because they don't have the established history that WWE has. They have to make their own.
Exactly. And, you know,
so just give them some time. It's rough, but it's been only almost 4 years for them.
Exactly.
WWE has had 60, right? Like.
And even Impact. I know no one ever really watches Impact, and they're still very much around.
Yes,
they're still
they went through some very dark times, and they were still able to manage. So
they're still pretty relevant. They have some really good wrestlers over there. Obviously, over the course of the years, they have Jay White was over there for a while. Moose is over there. People love Moose. Josh Alexander.
That's another dude who I think might make the jump to WWE.
Probably.
It makes a lot of sense. He tweeted, "Hey, Roman, I'll acknowledge you."
He was running around with Dawkins a few weeks ago. People were making a kind of a big scene about that, but we have to wait and see. I feel like next year, the Rumble is sort of the time where keep your fucking eyes peeled because if we just get 1, maybe 2 debuts around the Rumble in the Rumble, we could start seeing some changes and then have, obviously the biggest Raw and probably SmackDown of the years after WrestleMania.
With the draft potentially.
With the potential draft. A random draft pick here. Boom, you get a Moose all of a sudden. It's like we didn't even know Moose was signed to the motherfucking company. You know what I'm saying? Like have to be on the lookout. So AEW is definitely trying. They have to hold on to all their players, but have to make sure
they even said no one's getting released. So
as we'll see where Malachi comes back and Buddy and
I think that you think that implies to Punk too. They literally said no one's getting released.
But what the fuck do you do for Punk? Do you suspend him for like 6 months or something? What do you do
after his injury? Like, you took 7 months off because you had to heal.
Now here's another 6, so he's off for a year. Is it even worth having him at that point? Like, there's just so much
people are gonna be excited for.
Or did the suspension go into his injury? Like, all right, you're injured. That's your suspension.
Right. Maybe.
And then still, you're gonna have to squash a lot of beef in that motherfucking locker room.
He's
fighting the goddamn. He's fighting the.
You see the bite arm on Omega's arm, bro? That's wild.
AEW got to figure some shit out, especially since Tripp came up and is taking over, and then obviously the Punk, Omega, and Buck stuff going on.
Y'all know what's happening.
You know what I'm saying? This is a crucial rest of the year, and then obviously heading into next year, FTR and MJF and anyone else that potentially wants to jump ship.
FTR's contract 2022 or 2023.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fucking interesting. But that is going to do it for us over here. Try to cover up because we did miss last Friday. Try to get you guys a lot of content. We will be back here next Friday it'll be a little bit of a quicker show. As we drop our predictions because this guy right here will be at SmackDown next week on Friday.
Nice.
So we will try to get our predictions out on Friday for Extreme Rules, and then we'll obviously talk about anything else that happens there. And then Wednesday, just in a few days, because we got football ready to kick off in about 2 days. We're gonna drop
first game was back for basketball as well.
Yeah, well, we gonna talk about that. But we would have talked about Ime and stuff, but some shit with Ian going around. We had to be safe and stuff. Make sure you were good down there. Didn't want no power losing.
That man,
Ime. We didn't want you, flying off of our screen all of a sudden. They take you.
Yeah, we should have though. That would have been clicks, boy. That would have been the clicks right there. You just see me
podcast host sucked out of house.
Right, literally. Whoop! It takes me out.
RGTP power rankings for the NFL will be on Wednesday. Basketball underway. Cannot wait to talk about that. We will have Sava from Courtside coming on at some point. He dropped his early predictions. My man had the Suns at number 9. He thinks the Suns are going to drop off. Oh, Gonna be interesting.
I mean, Jay Crowder won't be the starter anymore, so maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. We'll
Yes.
have obviously some of our other friends. J Wack. We'll try to get him on. We'll try to have Thomas the Goat back on for the basketball season. It's going to be
Yes.
super amazing. But that's going to do it for us here at RGTP. Mamba, let the folks know what they got to do.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, noties on. I think that's about it.
And
You
that's
have a
going to
great
do it
day,
for
night,
us.
morning, evening, whatever it is for you. Peace.
Have a good one.